race, color, national origin, religion, sex, gender and orientation, familial status, disability. Can I just not talk about anything?
2 Mililani middle school girls fighting in a nearby park.
Why are we not supposed to talk about schools? Steering refers to the illegal practice of directing a prospective home buyer towards or away from a particular neighborhood or area based on protected characteristics. Disclaimer, I'm not directing you towards anything. If I let you know that there's an area of Hawaiian homelands here, it's leasehold real estate that you can't buy. It's relevant to you, right? I hope that that's why you guys like this channel. We bring you greater value than most, and we talk, open and freely within the confines. Sometimes you have to read between the lines. If you catch us putting something down, sometimes you got to pick it up on this channel. 60% of our buyers, more than half, buy their homes sight unseen with this team. So we have to be extra nuanced and negative and critical. When we're taking this video, we're smelling the wall. Hey, I don't think you should buy this house. I get a weird vibe. Neighbors didn't give me good feels. Like, we have to be that way. And so we can't fully do that on this channel, but we do our best. Bonus points if you can tell me where I am on this island. I'm gonna bet that 99% of even my local people don't know where I am right now. I've been getting questions in our consults. People are asking, like, tell me the truth. Like, how's that neighborhood? Is that the hood? According to the definition, can I say, is it the hood? I mean, may choose other terms. If I go anywhere in America, if I go to Detroit, if I go to Tennessee, if I go to Washington State, I just bet you in a place where there's maybe mattresses on the ground. It's just a different experience than the place that has an HOA. There are certain places we aren't supposed to go, but there are a lot of places we can that your buttoned up bureaucrat doesn't want you to because they want to stay way on this side of the fence. We're gonna go over some of those things, and then another kind of more lighthearted, fun misconception. Moving to Hawaii, this YouTube channel is a little different than moving to Orlando. There are cultural, spiritual, life reasons, like, you come here to heal after being diagnosed with something. There are reasons why people move here to Hawaii that are just different than those places. It's not just transactional, just I took a job at the Michigan card place or whatever. If you move from the desert or the snow, do you want to be plopped in a suburb in Eva that looks just like your suburb in Arizona? Or are you looking for Jurassic Park, Ko'olau Mountains, and Kaneohe? Are you looking for flatness town square and a jog or a bike to the beach in Kailua? There's reasons why these areas are highly sought after by our relocating clients, and we can't blame them. Nothing wrong with Eva, nothing wrong with Kaneohe, nothing wrong with the demographics in either. They're just different. We like to celebrate that nuance. I mentioned, Hawaiian Homestead. I've had people reach out to me, whether individually in the comment section on this channel. More recently, a big real estate investor and developer on the Big Island reached out to me and said, Derek, be a part of my initiative. I want to exclusively sell 100 homes to 100 Hawaiians, 100 local families. And I was like, okay, it sounds like something I can't be involved in. Let's have a conversation because I do love it. It's so expensive to live here. It's so expensive to stay here. It's so expensive to pa'a'aina, to hold the land and keep it and protect it and get your slice of this land legally through the modern system, that we love it when people can. So we cannot say just local, I'm only selling these homes to local people. Or, hey, you want to list your property, list with me. And you're like, yeah, Derek, but I'm only selling to local people if Howley's right offers, just letting you know, we're not good. I can't take that listing. The Steering and Fair Housing Act, these laws do make it such that we can't do those sorts of things. I love to see local people win guy, but even more than that, I want to keep my real estate license and be able to provide for my family guy. However, if I had a local family and you're selling a home off market, they'd love it and we don't even make commission, I'll marry you guys. We love seeing people win. We think bigger picture, but for those of us who expect, hey, just sell to local people, it's not even something we could do if that were in our value system. Go to our next location and talk about schools.
And the parents of one of the girls inciting the fist fight.
Yeah, police haven't arrested anyone, but are investigating a third-degree assault and harassment case.
So I'm standing here, the park that's adjacent to Mililani Middle, where there was just a big fight recently. These kids fought and the parents for facilitating it, and the comments online are going off and they're like, I can't believe you had those kids fight. And the other people are like, yeah, just like my dad's days when they duke it out. And there's all this controversy around it. And it happened here. Why are we not supposed to talk about school? I don't know that it is that we're not supposed to talk about it, but the fear is an agent will give advice or give insight directing a person towards a certain school zone, and then that family will not have a good experience in said school zone. It might be that that elementary is a 10 out of 10 on the website, School Digger, great schools, etc. And then you go there and your teacher is horrible, or your kid gets beat up or whatever. I think if we talk intelligently and thoroughly about these things, we can talk about schools. We talk about schools on here because it's important. I know that if you're relocating here and you have kids, you want to have that conversation. And in our experience doing consults with you guys, even though we can give our personal biased opinion a bit and kind of walk the tightrope for you, for your educational and or entertainment value, it really doesn't matter because it's going to vary year to year. It's going to vary for your family style, your kid's personality, school to school. It's a roll of the dice to some extent. So recently, Mililani here, there was a fight. Multiple girls going to beat up another girl and whatever, and then the dad came and protect his daughter, and the mom and the auntie was there, and then this whole thing, I think people are getting sued. That's Mililani. Like, just FYI, Mililani is one of these places people, they kind of like want to get here for the school district. When I moved back from the mainland, we intentionally came to Mililani. Like, I can't get my wife out of Mililani. When we were home shopping, we went and viewed homes in Eva, in Ocean Point specifically. And my wife, former elementary school teacher, she goes in these homes and she's like, oh, these homes are so nice. Man, I want to buy a home like this, not the little house we can get in Mililani at the time. But she also, as a school teacher and a mom, she's like, I really want these schools. Her, not me, right? She wanted these schools. It just depends. But then our neighbors, like one house across from us, they were leaving. And I'm like, oh, how come you guys are leaving and selling? They said, well, Mililani Middle, right behind me, they're like, I don't even know if I want to say this on this channel. These people told me, these parents said, Mililani Middle is hypersexual. And I'm like, Mililani? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, you crazy. I'm like, oh, where are you moving to? She's like, Vegas. I'm like, what? But she's moving to Henderson, and I don't know how they're doing, but what I do know is it was shocking to me. She's fleeing Mililani, made no sense to me. I'm gonna leave this a little vague, but I met someone else, and they were like, yep, same experience. There was a relocation out of Mililani for the same complaints. One is an anecdote, and then two is a coincidence. But then I think it just depends on who you hang out with, right? I think we could meet 1,000 other people who don't say that and don't have that experience. But point is your kid could find trouble even in one of the more sought after schools on the island. So it just depends. Let me give an example about Campbell High School. We went to Campbell. We've talked about it. So I graduated in 02. He graduated 03. I had a handyman come over, and I didn't know he was a guy I went to school with. He graduated in 2001, right? So he was the oldest, then there's me, then there's Kenji behind the camera. Kenji and I have talked about our experience in Campbell, and he acknowledges that his first year, so he's the youngest, right? I'm a sophomore, the other guy's a junior at this time. His first year, it's kind of crazy. It was kind of pop, pop, ha, ha, ha. As a man, as a boy, it was jungleistic. It was intense. My first and second year was like that. But that older guy, his first year at Campbell, we were still in intermediate school. We weren't there. So I was talking to this handyman and I said, how was your first year at Campbell? He said, oh, my first year was mellow. Like, not a lot of fights. He's like, yeah, but my second and third, which was my first and second, which included his first, he's like, those 2 years, crazy, chaos. As I've come back to Hawaii, I've met a lot of friends whose kids go to Campbell and they're like, bro, it's great, we love it. Test scores are good, teachers are good. I'm like, the Campbell that we went to? Now, a lot of the trouble that I found in high school, frankly, I brought it upon myself. Also, there was this cohort of 2 years that were just chaotic. It's a roll of the dice, you know, it can just depend. I have an elementary example. I'm not gonna go too deep into it. I know of a family whose kids go to one of the more prestigious elementary schools on island. The one kid just doesn't have the best teacher. In fact, that teacher isn't even accepted amongst the teacher's peers, but that's the teacher they got. So it just, we can increase as parents our chances of better education, but also what is better education? We have another elementary school example. I've told this probably 5 times on this channel, if not more. Just in this general vicinity, my clients live, actually, shout outs to my clients. I'm not gonna say their names, but they live like right there, like they live right there. I asked them, like, they're teachers. I said, you're moving here for the schools? They said, no, we're moving here because our parents can help with our newborn. I said, but Mililani schools, right? And they're like, no, we work in Eva. The schools are great. I was like, shut up. Anecdotally, they're like, look, we've worked at these 2 schools in Eva. We've worked at these schools here in Mililani Mauka. Some of these schools, too much homework. It's just insane for a 7-year-old to have 2 hours of homework every night. These other schools, we do a better job of nurturing the kid. These 2 schools in Eva that they reference. They referenced Holomua and Keoni'ula. You know, one of them has a great outdoor farming program. The other one is a track school with a good technology program. And there's a diversity of kids and experiences. And you could argue that experience, even though test scores lower, free lunches higher, things like that, they could argue, very intelligent people could argue that you could have a better experience there. You know what I mean? It just depends, but we're open to having that conversation. Last thing on schools, public versus private. You might be a physician watching this, went to private schools, you expect private schools. We've had clients move here specifically for Punahou, arguably the most prestigious private school on the island. Iolani people would have something to say about that. But Punahou, we had someone previously on our team who went to Punahou. In conversations with that person, there were damaging effects of going. They were like being around that affluenza, kids with money and the ability to bestow hurt upon others. Mixed experience, it just depends. Now, on average, is Punahou gonna produce more attorneys and physicians and CPAs than where we went, Campbell High School? Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Like, let me know in the comment section. Do you agree? Do you think that it starts at home? I know when my wife was a teacher, it was very clear how home life was. She'd come home and talk about these situations. That's a lot of pressure for us as parents. Right? I think about it every day. Am I doing good for my kid? Am I choosing the right school? Should I put them in Punahou? Should they be in Iolani? Is Mililani really gonna be safe? I mean, got fights and complaints of other things right here. It's a lot of pressure for us. Only you can figure it out for your family. Another polarizing topic. You might find slippers, you know, on this channel. You might find a girl with tattoos and piercings. You might find a pretty young guy, younger than most agents. But I think you're gonna be hard pressed to find the substance and the skill that our team provides. Who do we have on our team? So you have me, team leader, former Coast Guard, veteran. So Rodney, gotta make the content. Okay, Rob, a good job. All right, so you have me, team leader, right? Veteran, father, born mainland, moved Hawaii, super mixed bag. Perfect for this channel, if you think about it, right? Because we help a lot of local people, but we also help people relocating. And I've PCS'd, I've moved to and from. I've been that mainland kid moving here who doesn't talk like this and sounds different, is kind of an outsider. I've done it, right? And then I own multiple properties, right? I have an investment that you guys have seen on this channel, a A-class $1 million townhome. I have my primary residence. I'm in 2 multifamily deals where I'm a partner in these big multifamily things. I had a 4-plex in Puerto Rico, we sold it. Been looking to buy another 4-plex. Like, you want an agent who, you know, invests and is obsessed with this. And that permeates into our team. So who do you have next? You have Mahi. Tattoo, piercings, just a unique, one-of-a-kind soul. Single mother, previously, she's engaged now. Just an insanely quality person who has done, what, 100 real estate deals over the past 2 years or something. A local girl, born and raised, a skilled, quality person who you're not gonna find. You might find another me, you ain't gonna find another Mahi, that's for sure. You have a military husband in Kenny. You have a guy who is a spouse, a military spouse, PCS'd from the mainland. Kind of still don't fit in. And we joke about it and we celebrate it, right? Another quality person who's communicative. And if you want someone who's gonna stay on top of their stuff and communicate, I'm putting you with Kenny most likely. I'm filming YouTube. I can't be as present as he is. And just another quality person. Then we have Aiden. My nephew now. People have said they thought he was my kid, which I'm insulted by. Not that damn old. Aiden's the youngest, but also the most mature in the room. Quality person who grew up here in Mililani. Totally local. Aiden is just a quality, unique person, remarkable and trustworthy. And I give him my card, my business card that could destroy me. Go get us lunch, whatever. Buying a house right now, so if anyone's selling something in the 500,000 range, young man is buying. If you have a distressed home that's all bust up, young man is buying. And I'll put Aiden up against anyone to run numbers and scenarios and angles and neighborhoods and how much, but savings rate, appreciation rate. The guy made a spreadsheet for appreciation. I'll put my team up against any team, and I hope you agree. I hope that you reach out to us. Can't forget Kenj behind the camera. He doesn't get the shine and the light. I get all the shine, right? They're like, I love your videos. You do such a great job. I don't do anything but talk, really, right? Like, he does a great job. And then we have our assistants, our admin assistants, and our, that live on the phone and the computers, and they're world class. There's style and aesthetic. There's also substance and skill, and we hope we marry those two for you in the best way. You go to coreteamhawaii.com, go to the very bottom, reach out, and hit us up.